Hello my dear students, welcome back to Biology at Priyajit. Imagine a tiny organism invisible to the naked eye entering the human body and surviving despite our powerful immune system. How does it escape immune attack? Why do diseases like malaria, amoebiasis, leishmaniasis and filariasis continue to affect millions of people? The answer lies in understanding host-parasite interaction and the epidemiology of parasitic disease. In this class, we will learn how parasites infect the host, evade immunity, cause disease and spread through populations, and how these infections can be prevented and controlled. Let's start. What is parasitology? Parasitology is the branch of biology that studies parasites, their hosts, and the interactions between them. A parasite depends on living on another living organism called the host for food, shelter and survival. During evolution, both host and parasite have continuously adapted to each other. This ongoing struggle is known as evolutionary arms race. Studying host-parasite interactions is essential in medical science, veterinary science, fisheries, wildlife biology, agriculture, epidemiology, and public health. What is host-parasite interaction? Host-parasite interaction refers to the biological relationship in which a parasite lives in or on a host, obtaining nourishment and protection while causing varying degree of harm. Whether the infection becomes mild or severe depends on several factors like the virulence of the parasite, the immune status of the host, environmental conditions, duration of infection, genetic makeup of the host. Stages of host-parasite interaction. The interaction follows a sequence of events. Firstly, the parasite encounters the host, then it enters the body. After entry, it establishes itself by attaching to tissues and adapting to the host environment. Next, the parasite multiplies. The host immune system responds to eliminate the invader. Meanwhile, the parasite develops strategies to escape immune attack. Finally, the outcome may be either recovery or disease. Types of host responses. Hosts do not respond to parasite in the same way. A resistant host prevents the parasite from establishing infection. For example, humans are naturally resistant to many parasites that infect birds. Susceptible host. In a susceptible host, the parasite successfully establishes infection. An example is Plasmodium falciparum, which causes severe malaria in humans. Carrier host. A carrier host harbors parasites without showing any symptoms. Although healthy in appearance, such individuals continue to spread infection and act as reservoirs. Asymptomatic malaria carriers are excellent examples. Dead end host. In a dead end host, the parasite infects the individual but cannot continue its life cycle. Humans infected with Echinococcus granulosus are considered dead end hosts. Stages of infection. Encounter. The host and parasite come into contact, which depends on climate, sanitation, population density, vectors and host behavior. For example, an infected mosquito biting a human initiates malaria transmission. Entry. Parasites enter the host through different routes. Some penetrate the skin, such as hookworms and schistosoma. Others enter through contaminated food and water, such as Ascaris and Tinea. Some are transmitted by insect vectors like Plasmodium through mosquitoes. Others spread through sexual contact or from mother to child. Establishment. Once inside, parasites attach to host tissues, invade organs, obtain nutrients and avoid immune destruction. Multiplication. Parasites multiply rapidly. Protozoa reproduce through binary fission, multiple fission or schizogeny. Helminths produce enormous numbers of eggs and larvae. Exit and transmission. Finally, parasites leave the host through feces, urine, blood, skin lesions or arthropod vectors and infect new hosts. How do parasites cause disease? Parasites damage the host in several ways. Mechanical damage. Firstly, large parasites may block organs. For example, Ascaris lumbricoides can obstruct the intestine, while liver flukes block bile ducts. Nutrient competition. Some parasites consume nutrients meant for the host. Hookworms feed on blood, causing anemia. The Diphylobothrium latum competes for vitamin B12, leading to deficiency. Tissue destruction. Parasites like Entamoeba histolytica destroy intestinal tissue. Leishmania damages cells to the immune system. Toxic effects. Parasites release toxic metabolic products that produce fever, allergy, and inflammation. Immunopathology. Sometimes the host's immune response causes tissue damage. Examples include granuloma formation in schistosomiasis and cerebral malaria. Some parasites continuously change their surface antigens through antigenic variation, making them difficult for the immune system to recognize. Others survive safely inside the host cells. Host defense mechanisms. Our body fights parasites through two major defense systems. First one is the innate immunity. This is the first line of defense. It includes skin, mucus, stomach acid, digestive enzymes, macrophages, neutrophils, dendritic cells, natural killer cells, and the complement system. These mechanisms act immediately after infection. Adaptive immunity. Adaptive immunity is highly specific. It consists of two components like humoral immunity, where B lymphocytes produce antibodies such as IgM, IgG, IgA, and especially IgE, which plays an important role against helminths. Cell-mediated immunity. T lymphocytes coordinate immune responses. Helper T cells activate other immune cells. Cytotoxic T cells destroy infected cells. Regulatory T cells prevent excessive immune reactions. The role of eosinophils. Eosinophils are particularly important during worm infection. They release toxic granules that damage parasites and promote inflammation. Important cytokines. Several cytokines regulate immunity against the parasites like IL-4. Interleukin 4 stimulates IgE production. Interleukin 5 activates eosinophils. Interferon gamma activates macrophages. TNF-alpha promotes inflammation, and interleukin 10 suppresses excessive immune responses. Host specificity. Some parasites infect only one host species. This is called narrow host specificity. Human pinworm is a classic example. Other parasites infect many species. This is known as brood host specificity. Toxoplasma gondii is a well-known example. Coevolution. Hosts continuously develop stronger immunity and resistance genes. Parasites simultaneously evolve greater infectivity, immune evasion, and drug resistance. A classic example is the relationship between malaria parasites and the human sickle cell trait. Epidemiology of parasitic disease. Epidemiology is the scientific study of the distribution, frequency, determinants, transmission, prevention, and control of diseases within populations. It answers 5 important questions like who gets infected, where does infection occur, when does it occur, why does it occur, and how does it spread. Epidemiological triad. Disease occurs because of the interactions of 3 components. The first one is the agent, which is the parasite itself. The second is the host, whose age, nutrition, immunity, genetics, and occupation influence susceptibility. The third one is the environment, including climate, sanitation, water supply, rainfall, and socio-economic conditions. Important epidemiological terms. Incidence means the number of new cases occurring during a specific period. Prevalence means the total number of existing cases in a population. Morbidity refers to the frequency of illness. Mortality means deaths caused by a disease. An endemic disease is continuously present in a region. An epidemic is a sudden increase above the expected level. A pandemic spreads worldwide. A sporadic disease occurs irregularly. Transmission of parasitic disease. Parasites spread in several ways: through direct contact, through contaminated food and water, through insect vectors like mosquitoes, sandflies, and tsetse flies, through contaminated soil, or from infected reservoirs such as humans, dogs, cats, rodents, and wildlife. Risk factors. Several factors increase the risk of Infection. Biological factors include age, pregnancy, immunodeficiency. Environmental factors include poor sanitation and climate change. Behavioral factors include walking barefoot and eating raw meat. Socioeconomic factors include poverty, overcrowding, and malnutrition. Methods of epidemiological study. Scientists investigate diseases using three major approaches. First one is the descriptive epidemiology, studies person, place and time. Second one is the analytical epidemiology, identifies causes through case control and cohort studies. Third one is the experimental epidemiology, which evaluates interventions such as vaccine and drug trials. Continuous surveillance helps detect outbreaks early and evaluate disease control programs. Control of parasitic disease. Effective control requires multiple approaches. Maintain personal hygiene and drink safe water. Wear footwear and use mosquito nets. Control insect vectors through environmental sanitation. Use antiparasitic drugs like albendazole, praziquintal, artemisinin combination therapy, and metronidazole. Vaccination, health education, clean water supply, proper waste disposal, and environmental management are equally important here. Major human parasitic disease. Some important examples include malaria caused by plasmodium, amoebiasis caused by entamoeba histolytica, giardiasis caused by giardia lambli, Leishmaniasis caused by Leishmania donovani, African sleeping sickness caused by Trypanosoma brucei, lymphatic filariasis caused by Wuchereria bancrofti, Schistosomiasis caused by Schistosoma manchani, Ascariasis caused by Ascaris lumbricoides. So conclusion, we conclude to summarize host-parasite interaction is a complex biological relationship involving infection, immune responses, parasitic survival strategies, disease development and epidemiology. Understanding these concepts help us develop better diagnostic methods, vaccines, drugs and disease control strategies. This topic forms the foundation of modern parasitology and is highly important for university examinations as well as competitive exams. If you found this class helpful, like, share and subscribe to Biology at Priyajit. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming lectures on zoology, human physiology, parasitology and other life science topics. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, keep learning and I will see you in the next class. Bye.